Ole.
Nathaniel.
Carlos.
Wanker.
Pendejo.
Beer.
The Nathaniel and Carlos Beer Tasting Show podcast.
Jesus Christ, Carlos, wait for the show to start.
Yeah, man, I've just been kind of at it for like the last 9 weeks, essay. I mean, you'll say show start. Man, when did it really end?
That's a very good and eloquent point that I didn't even consider. So, how are you this morning?
Hey, man, yeah, not too bad. I realized I forgot to take the trash out, so I guess we're just going to keep it. But now I can start. Here's the thing. Everybody listening, if you want, go to the Venmo, and what I'm going to do is I can take my trash that I did not throw away. So like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch box, some ramen noodle wrappers. I can start autographing those, essay, and mailing them to you. No problem.
Are you selling merch on the show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I signed it myself.
I've got some used beer cans over here. You know what? Let's do that. That sounds like fun. I'll autograph this cup here and this bottle of orange juice and this beer can. We will make some money.
Hey, man, you know what would sell for a lot, though?
What's that?
The empty chair Eliza's ass is supposed to be in.
Shut up, Carlos.
How long have you been there?
You know, I've been here long enough, and it's already getting to that point, Carlos. It's already getting there.
I meant to mention the fact that Eliza was joining us this morning, but we started talking about your trash, and I got distracted.
So much trash talking on this show.
Oh, so, hey, man, I guess what I'm going to do is, you can have cupcakes delivered. So Eliza,
Yes.
I'm going to send you some cupcakes. Don't beat me up.
They had better not be chocolate. I'm allergic.
The next ones won't be. How about that? Ole.
Fine.
As your uncle, I will take 10% off the top based on the contract you signed just now.
So is that the icing then? You're going to eat the icing?
Yes, I'm just going to lick the icing off and give the rest of it to Eliza.
Ugh.
I mean, he will if he's able to catch me. I'm
That's-
going to meet the post first and run away with them, and he can't. He can't run. He can walk. That's about all
I
he does.
meander
You,
lordly.
like an emperor penguin. That's what you look like.
Like an emperor penguin. Okay, then.
So with the emperor penguin, would that be like a noble waddle?
Yes, it is meandering or lordly like.
I don't
Ole.
know boldly like. I'd call it class. Sassy too. Caring for his young.
I am the master of
He's
sass.
got an egg there, and you have a big monk sack that you are guarding like.
My sack does bring all the girls here. This is getting way sideways.
I was just thinking about how funny it would be to like push you over and hold a taco and watch you like go from side to side, try to get up to come get it.
So
Ooh, I like that.
that would actually be an exercise in my incredible dexterity. Because if there's tacos involved, very little can stop me. As we've discussed one
That's
time
not
when
true, Uncle. The colossal amount of alcohol that you consume on a daily basis has turned your nervous system to jelly.
now that is bogus, and I'm going to tell thee why. Carlos, do you remember that time that we were on our way to get tacos and a truck blocked our way?
What's wrong?
A lorry.
Oh,
Very large cart.
alright.
I did not remember that because I think if something was in my way between me and tacos, I would have torn it in half with my claws.
But so this is what happened. We were going to fetch tacos it was Carlos and Oscar Hasselhoff and I. And this was during, late summer, 8 years ago, I suppose? And it was just after I was out of the hospital from my disease. And we went to get tacos, and then I came back, and we were like, where the hell was everybody else? Because we were supposed to be met there by a whole bunch of people swinging swords. But nobody showed up. And then so Oscar looks at his ravens coming and delivering messages. Oh, apparently there was a truck flipped over at a crossroads down on the other side of the old TRF. And Oscar, when people finally showed up, because we informed him about the truck blocking our taco way, Oscar says, Nathaniel has flipped it with his cancer powers. You don't remember that?
Now that you talk about the truck flipping, yeah, I remember that. You left out major details, essay. It got confusing.
Most of them weren't major. They were just a bunch of people that we don't talk about much.
The truck flipping over, if you put that detail in, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. Otherwise, you're like, nah, man, there was a truck in the way. It's like, oh, what, did it stop at the light? Was it making a left turn? What the hell are you talking about?
It was making a left hand.
You never make left turns are irresponsible, essay. If I have to make a bunch of left turns to get somewhere, I'm not going there.
Especially on a 2-lane highway. What's happening lately, Carlos?
Oh, man, I told you I didn't take the trash out, and we're doing merch now.
Do we have any shout-outs this week?
Man, there's always people to shout out to, man, What did the kids say? The kids say chunk in the deuce. You remember when they used to say that? They say that like they're flashing the peace sign, but it sounds like they're going make number 2.
I'm I'm actually right there with you, Carlos. I really am. The first time I heard it, I was like, so you're going to poop? Why does everybody need to know? That's disgusting.
I got the cat, the boy, the big one.
Yes.
Like when he's making the number 2, you can tell from the other room. He's very proud. Sometimes you get like a meow, meow, meow.
He walks up and tells you he wants you to come see like a 12-year-old.
Oh, he might be warning us like,
don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
That's very civic-minded of him, I suppose.
that's very nice of him, yes.
All right, I do have a shout-out. I would like to make a shout-out to my mate Ian Garrison, the most fun under 5'1". You remember him.
Ole.
Started listening to our show, and he heartily approves of our nonsense.
That's good. That's the guy with like the $1 million coin purse.
Yes, the bloke with the largest
coin purse.
Yeah, we call it a coin purse on this rating system.
He especially liked it when Eliza ripped you a new one. He thought that was just the funniest thing.
If I just keep making Eliza mad, we keep him listening every week.
Do your best. She might slay you.
He's familiar with being ripped a new one by me as well, so he must have been getting that. Poor bloke, I understand.
I'm pretty sure I could just remind her of something that would just make her angry every time I need to make her angry.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Oh, I can try it out.
He's going to do that.
Go for it. Let me go behind this bunker over here. All right. Have fun, Carlos.
You ready, Eliza?
I suppose.
You are related to Nathaniel.
Now, wait a... I hate all of you. I hate you all.
You're related to the entire Iberian Peninsula. There's not been a time that you haven't exposed yourself to one of your own strange little relatives. So, I've got nothing else to say to you. Not a damn thing.
Back to the shout-outs?
Absolutely. I've only got that one, just Ian.
We got the William Stoneburner. He's always around somewhere. He's a good guy.
Earlobe Nick, I suppose, yes?
You know, we haven't heard from Earlobe Nick.
We haven't.
I'm going to reach out to him because it would be nice to have him as a guest on the show.
I think so, too. It would be pretty funny. If only to get him to tell the story for the third time.
Ole. Yeah, we hope Lilith's doing good out there from what I see on the Facebook. Everything looks all right.
Kevin Griffin, too.
Oh, yeah, man, that's a good guy. Kevin has pulled my fat out of the fire before. He helped me out a lot one time. What happened is I was riding my donkey, right?
Yes.
And my donkey got sick, so I was gonna try to ride a dog. I was gonna take a greyhound instead, you know. I was very far away. I was in the capital city, you know, over kind of by Sherwood. And the people that are in charge of getting the greyhounds to go where they need to go, my greyhound got sick, so it could not go no more. And it was going to be another like 4 hours before one came out there. So I was trapped.
Like a rat in a trap, gentlemen.
And Griffin just happened to be along?
I think he saw my messages of distress essay. And he said, you want me to come get you? It was like, are you sure? And so he did. But the thing is, he came from this city to come all the way out there. And then he brought me all the way back here.
I think I remember this. And that was years ago. He lived much further away from Austin, too.
Oh, man, that was like, I can't say enough good things. That was amazing.
He's brought me tacos before.
Ole.
Yeah, Pinnacle of Paragon of Humanity, right there.
Mm-hmm. Is Eliza making number 2?
No, I'm right here, sitting firmly at 0.
We are being interrupted by a cat.
He's very fluffy, and I appreciate
A
it.
fluffy tail.
My inner 5-year-old is absolutely squealing.
All right, let's move on, mate.
Ole. In doing my homework on the interwebs this week, I came across 9 worst craft beer trends of 2019. They were warning us about, hey man, here's what you're gonna hate by the end of the year. And I did find some terrible things on this list. We're gonna start. They got something. You ever heard of a crowler?
No, I have not. I've been seeing that word pop up in my own research on the interwebs, but I'm not sure what it is.
A crowler is when you can 32 ounces of beer.
Like a big tall boy.
Pretty much, but what it was the cool kids, instead of wanting to carry around a 32-ounce glass, they're like, oh, we can put it in a can, because they don't understand the science of as soon as you open it and the oxygen gets in, it's basically a canned beer.
So yeah, it's like a 40 that just didn't quite live up to itself.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you got a lot of people were treating the flagship beers like they were Nickelback and just not liking them because they were cool.
like Nickelback.
Ole. So they did something last year. They did flagship February because people were starting to not buy the Boston Lager, not buy the Fat Tire, stuff like that, just because it's not cool. Let's see.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Those are the Boston Lager is a very worthwhile beer. I'm particularly fond of from Sam Adams. It's really good.
Let's say, and another one we have seen this in our ventures. the milkshake IPA was becoming a big thing.
Oh yes. Oh, we talked about this. Yes. Ugh.
And the last one, I saved this for last on purpose. Glitter beer.
Say something about glitter. I've got nothing.
Say something about what?
Glitter beer.
Glitter beer? Where?
Oh dear.
Oh, that sounds fancy. I would love to drink that.
Is that like? Do you remember what was called Goldschlager, where they thought the gold actually increased the alcohol content in its delivery to your brain? So hell with it. We're going to put golden flakes into our very powerful schnapps.
Are we?
Is this what
we
the
get-
glitter beer is? Is this what the trend is? Let's make it all. Maybe there's some weird scientific necessity.
I would love to get drunk off that and then experience the vomit afterward. Would it be glittery?
Imagine when you're going to make a pee.
I'm strange. I'll stop.
Imagine going to do a wee with a glitter beer in your system, and oh look, unicorns.
I don't have the luxury of watching my Wii while it's coming out,
But while it's in there, you can see it floating about in the toilet, and unicorn.
I think that would be brilliant. I really do. You would be fire hosing glitter. I mean, what a happier circumstance could you think of? You just pissed glitter this morning. I mean, that's a great day. That's a great day.
I'm not pissed enough for this. Tell us more about glitter beer. Now we're curious.
Well, you mentioned the Goldschlager had the flakes in it. The glitter beer it looked like something out of a craft store. You know, like the slime in the second Ghostbusters, where the glitter is kind of interwoven into the beer. So if you were to check the beer, it would look like a snow globe. I thought it looked kind of gross.
Glitter beer.
Ooh.
It looks like sort of a lava lamp kind of thing. Carlos, did it say where we could actually procure this beer? Because I'd actually like to try this. I'm curious now.
I did not have that information, but I'm pretty sure once the bars and whatnot start opening up, you could probably ask around.
Eliza and I are going to sort that out, and we'll let people know
Indeed, I would love
what
that.
this glitter beer thing is all about. So, Carlos, I found something most interesting.
What's that?
So there's a project in Japan called Save Beer Spirits. It was launched by the Kyoichi Brewery Incorporated in Naka, Ibaraki Prefecture. The project collects craft beer sitting in kegs and bottles at restaurants, stuff that's been closed for too long. Once it starts to turn, because bad beer, and turns it into gin. They take it into their own brewery. They pick it up and they take it to their own brewery distillery. They distill it in gin pots, double distilled, to make gin out of it, and they return the products back to the constituent breweries. So if you've got a keg of, let's say, a double IPA floating about and it's about to turn and you can't sell it, these blokes will come, pick it up, take your keg's worth, turn it into, I suppose, an equivalent amount of gin, because gin has an extremely long shelf life and it doesn't go bad before you can drink it. And they'll give it back to you and only charge you a delivery fee. So you don't actually lose your product. It just changes and you just have to flip it over into the inventory as a new thing.
It evolves.
I thought that was actually really cool of them to do that. Why waste so much beer like we're doing over here and pouring it out? Just turn that stuff into gin and make it a summery drink.
And that's got to be a really good way to market that too. You could as people are coming in, if you have a tap room, it'd be very good to go, hey, we got this gin. It's this, but it's like come together like a Captain Planet essay. They're all come together. The powers combined.
We took this leftover IPA, we mixed it with this lager here, and now here's this clear liquor that will get you hammered in record time.
Ole.
The power is yours.
So funny thing. Have you ever heard of the Twitter?
I have heard of the Twitter, yes. Tweeting is a thing, and it's somewhat notorious right now.
Ole. Well, you never hear me say that I tweeted. I will only say that I twat.
Oh, God.
But so I found this thing. It's the 25 Twitter accounts to follow if you are a self-proclaimed beer connoisseur. Luckily, I don't know anyone like that.
No, we're drunks. There's a difference.
Ole, but going through this, there's 25 different ones. Obviously, the Beer Advocate, who we look at the scores up for, they have a Twitter. I think you would like this one. It's called @DogsOnTap, and it's dog pictures and beer pictures.
Oh, twist my bloody arm.
Ole. And then there's another one that at Homebrew Talk, and this one is like opinions and stories and tips from fellow home brewers. So it's a bunch of home brewers get together and talk about how they do their thing, whatnot. And then there's another one called @Brewing Network, and I think I'm gonna reach out to them and go, hey, there's these guys doing this podcast and they have this Venmo. You should tell people about it.
that could work. Don't mention that it's us, just these guys.
These other guys that I know, they're kind of funny.
So I've been doing my researches, and there is another project happening that's completely entirely different from the Save the Beer Spirits. This one is called the Altogether IPA Collaboration. Now, if you listen to Carlos and I for any amount of time, you know we're not the hugest fans of IPAs. They have their place. Eliza really likes the damn things.
I'm growing. They're growing on me, literally like tumors.
Like a yeast, I suppose.
No, not like a yeast.
That was a beer joke, for piss sakes.
Oh,
Get it? Yeast, hefe, beer.
Yeah, I go out of my way to not get yeast.
I mean, can I pour yet?
No, not yet. We've still got to talk about news. So, anyway, Altogether IPA Collaboration. It was created by Other Half Brewery out of Brooklyn. It's an open-ended collaboration created to raise support for the industry they love so much. There's several Texas breweries that are involved. Jester King released Altogether IPA on May 29th. Proceeds go to the Southern Smoke Relief Fund. Other breweries are included the St. Elmo Brewery, the Vista Brewing Company, and Batch Beer and Coloches, which I can only assume, not doing any homework on that at all, is somewhere in the Hill Country, up near Brenham.
It's actually off Manor Road in North Austin.
But yes, these are all mostly charitable donations, and they all use different types of IPA. So it's not one specific IPA they're all brewing. Like Jester King has an East Coast. This other one did a double IPA. This one did a hazy West Coast. But yeah, it's a collaboration to create IPAs, and they're all releasing here in either last week or within the coming weeks to help charities like the Southern Smoke Relief Fund.
Oh yeah, that's we brought up the Southern Smoke a while back, huh?
Yes, we've mentioned that before.
Olé. So I looked up something that I think you're going to like a lot.
Okay.
And it's not as grandioso as one might think it is, but it looked really fun.
Hang on, is it like the beer bath?
Sort of, but a little better.
Oh, okay. I'm interested. I'm curious. Hit me.
It is called the Beer Pillow.
The beer pill. Oh, elucidate me, Carlos. I have to know.
But it's not what you think. Like when I first saw it, I thought, oh, beer pillow. Someone has made this wonderful invention and I can go somewhere and buy it. No, sir. This man has taken a 2-gallon hefty Ziploc bag and he has poured 15 cans of beer into it, cold beer, and then he puts a bendy straw where you zip it closed, and then he zip it closed really tight. And there's a picture and there's a video. If you can, I will put the link up. There's a video you can go to and he shows you how to make it, and then he shows you how to use it. And what he does is he puts the pillow down and he lays on it like a comfortable little baby, and then he puts the bendy straw in his mouth so that whenever he gets thirsty, he can start sipping on it.
Okay, first I applaud his ingenuity. It's an idea, not necessarily a good idea, but it's an idea, and it shows that he's thinking. And in my mind, it ranks just below in usefulness the 2-beer hat thing with the straws. I can see how it might be. No, I've got nothing. There's no possible freaking way that this could be useful, except if you're a science nerd and you wrap the whole damn thing in Mylar or something.
It's also funny because in the video he comments about he needs to find a way to make a beer waterbed.
He should go talk to those blokes in Austria. They've probably got one already. If they have a beer bath, they might as well.
Olé.
Oh, that's bloody interesting. Okay, Carlos, you know what time it is?
It's 10:38 in the morning.
It's time for Weird Beer Facts. Only this time, I ran out of facts. So I am going to do a new feature called Weird Beers.
Weird Beers.
Allez! These are some damn strange beers. So what we got here is called Celeste Jeweled Beer by Dogfish Head. If you've ever wondered what the far stretches of the galaxy might taste like, Celeste Jeweled by Dogfish Head Brewery just might be the answer with their Meteorite beer.
Space, the final frontier.
Okay, so what they did, they took lunar meteorite, crushed it up, and steeped the little rocks in beer like tea. To make it even cooler, at the brewery, the beer was served in koozies made from fabric of astronaut suits.
Olé.
That's the least strange one. Here we go. Okay, this one's called Pisna by Norebro Brygges Brewery. So there's a festival in Denmark. It happens every year. It's called the Roskilde. It's a music festival. If you went in 2015, your pee was likely used to make beer. Yeah, I see you shivering right now.
Oui, oui. Yes, a lot of it.
It's not exactly what you think it might be. Over 50,000 gallons of pee from the festival were collected and used to fertilize malted barley that was then harvested and turned into Pilsner, the world's first beer made with human pee.
Oh my, that's disgusting.
So another one appeared on here that we've discussed before called beard beer, if you remember what that one was.
That's pretty gross.
This one is called Un Konokuro by Sankt Gallen Brewery. This sought-after Japanese brew is basically elephant coffee poo beer. Yeah, take a breath, and you're going to rate for this. Made by fermenting coffee beans that have passed through the digestive system of Thai elephants, the beer takes the animal pooping out coffee beans trend to the next level.
This is doo-doo, baby.
And I think we've got one more here. This one is called Odious Ale. So, Eliza, I know you're a fan of the author Roald Dahl, yes?
Yeah.
We've all heard of him, yeah, Willy Wonka and James and the Giant Peach. So, in terms of wacky places to find yeast, Roald Dahl's writing chair is one of the stranger places brewers get a swab of the stuff. 40-Foot Brewery uses yeast from the author's chair to make the Odious Ale. Fun fact, the chair was custom made to help Dahl write better after suffering a back injury during World War II.
I mean, I might try that.
There's a bunch of other ones on this list, like Oyster Stout, which I'm not even going to read, but I'm pretty sure you can imagine.
Sounds like an aphrodisiac.
Big Ass Money Stout, which is literally made
That's
from...
definitely an aphrodisiac.
It's literally made from soaking money in the malting process. Yeah, so yeah, those are our current weird beers today.
Ole.
So, do you know what time it is now? Tool time? What the? No.
Is it time for the main event?
It is time for the main event.
Ole, everybody, and in case you forgot, next week is a big deal. Next week is our 10th episode, ese.
Woo! So we've literally been doing this show longer than we would have out at our actual show.
So we're going to do something special, and if it doesn't kill Nathaniel, I don't know what will.
I know this is going to be fun. Eliza?
It's always a fun spectacle he makes of himself in occasions like this.
It's a surprise, so we're not going to tell you what it is, but it is super special, and I am looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see if my liver can handle this.
So you'll got to join us next week at the same beer tasting time, at the same beer tasting channel.
Excellent, well done. So, shall we get on with the main event?
Ole!
Our first beer is Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Eliza, if thou wilt pour it. Carlos, why don't you tell them about it?
The Summer Shandy is a 4.2 ABV. Summer Shandy is a crisp Weiss beer with a natural lemon flavor. It's their take on Franz Kugler's original Munich Tavern tradition. And in 2012, the Summer Shandy won a silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival in the fruity wheat beer category. The best things to eat it with, get ready for this, is barbecue chicken, fruit salads, watermelon, and freshly caught grilled fish. Ole! Oh, and the Beer Advocate gave it a 74.
So we've got a slight confession to make. Eliza and I are both familiar with this beer. Her ladyship, not Eliza, but my ladyship, her family is from the town where this is from. In fact, my father-in-law went to school with the brewmaster of Leinenkugel's brewery. So we are familiar with Summer Shandy, and it just happened to be the first thing that come to hand when I went to grab beers. So there was really no plan in this. It's just, oh, bloody hell, this is what we're drinking today.
Yeah, Summer Shandy came in handy.
Ole!
Oh, gods, really? Carlos, do you have a toast for us?
Ole! Don't take life too seriously. Nobody gets out alive anyway.
I've heard that somewhere.
I love that.
Cheers. 3, 2, 1. Refreshing.
Very refreshing. Makes me want to paint. Makes me want to go out into a meadow and just paint something pretty.
It's lemonade and beer. It's what you want to drink on a hot summer's day. It's got some slight hoppiness that I wasn't expecting from this because I've had this before and it didn't quite taste like that. Maybe this one is starting to turn or something, but it's still really good. I'm Actually, I think now that it might be starting to turn, it's better. It's not as sweet as I feared from Summer Shandy before. Altogether, a damn fine beer. It's something to drink during the summer when it's hot.
Indeed.
So we can't say much about this other than it's quite refreshing. It doesn't really reek of beer. It doesn't hit like a beer does.
I disagree wholeheartedly. It's
Yes.
like a beer. It's got the lemon flavor to it, but it is not sweet. It is not a cider. It is not
No,
a
it's
seltzer.
not.
It is not. It's a beer with a good hint of lemon.
It's not cloying. That's I think that's the word. It's not.
Right. You're still drinking a beer when you drink it, and that's my take.
Okay, Eliza. Shall we move on to the next beer? Carlos, do you want to tell them about Purple Haze Raspberry Lager?
Ole! From the Abita Brewing Company, we got a 4.2 ABV. Purple Haze is a lager brewed with real raspberries added after filtration. It is brewed with Pilsner and wheat malts and Vanguard hops. The berries add a fruity aroma, tartly sweet taste, and a subtle purple color in haze. You may see fruit pulp in the beer. Ole! The beer is best served with salads or light fruit desserts such as soufflés or chiffon cakes. Many people enjoy it with chocolate desserts. Purple Haze pairs well with certain cheeses such as ripened brie or any other dessert made with mascarpone.
I'll do the toast this time. Mugs up. The man that isn't jolly after drinking is just a driveling idiot to my thinking.
Indeed.
3, 2, 1.
Ole!
Oh, wow. Raspberry right off the bat.
I've got raspberry, but
Punch in
I've
the face.
also got some lovely honey in there. It's got also. I mean, you taste purple. This is what purple should taste like.
Yeah, I've had fruit beers before, fruit lagers. There's a blueberry lager out there I've had, and it was just overwhelming blueberry. This one is not overwhelming raspberry. It's not.
This isn't Berry Vice, which is also by Line and
Yeah,
Creed.
it's not.
This is delicious. I quite enjoy this.
It's not a little too sweet for me, but it's not too much.
I don't detect. It's not sweet at all, but it is fruity, which the fruity doesn't necessarily turn sweet in terms of flavor. And my uncle, sadly enough, is not a fan.
I could drink that. I wouldn't turn it down.
Can you be able to palate the citrus fruits, not berries?
If someone said, "Here, mate, have a purple haze," I would gladly accept and not sneer or turn my nose up to it. I mean, I probably wouldn't. If anybody handed me a beer and said, "Here, mate, beer's on the house," I wouldn't turn my nose up to it, even if it was an IPA. So, truthfully, when I did grab this beer from the supermarket, I looked at Purple Haze and my mind immediately said, "Oh, this is an IPA. We might as well include one." I did not realize it was a raspberry lager up until this morning.
What is interesting is there is an IPA called Purple Haze, and it is extremely strong, 7.9 if I believe, on the, I'll call it the Richter scale.
Overall, not a bad beer. Not a terrible beer at all. I wouldn't seek it out, but I wouldn't say no.
I concur. I like it. It's probably not the first thing I would reach for, but I will drink this. I would like to drink this at night, at a nighttime party. This is a very nighttime beverage. I want it to be dark outside.
Okay, Eliza, on to our next beer.
All right.
Hold on, and the Abita Brewing Company is in Covington, Louisiana, and to be honest with you, their tap room looks really nice. So this is one that might go on the schedule when we start getting on the road and that kind of thing.
To visit list.
Ole.
Okay, so our next one is from our mates here in Houston, St. Arnold. This one is called the Guten Tag Bavarian Style Lager. Eliza, darling, if you would pour while Carlos does tell people about it.
Right, so.
Ole, and not much to say about this one. I think it probably speaks for itself more. The St. Arnold Guten Tag is 5.8, so it's the strongest one today. It's a traditional Bavarian style lager with a crisp and clean flavor. The malt provides a nice toasty and bready complexity through the use of decoction, while the hops are restrained to allow a soft and elegant finish. This one got an 84 on the Beer Advocate essay.
So looking at this is like on the darker end of the lager spectrum, just by color. It's fairly significant. It looks rather like an amber ale to me. The nose is, I'm wondering if that's just the raspberry ale I'm still smelling from, the raspberry lager I'm still smelling from this glass. But there's a fruity, it's a bit fruity on the nose with there's some definite bready kind of yeasty hits. Okay, Eliza, do you have a next toast?
I do.
Excellent. Mugs up.
I would like to wish a wholehearted cheers to all of the holidays, all 365 of them.
Well done, madam. Cheers. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's, oh.
Ah.
Not what I was expecting, huh?
Ah.
There is,
Ah.
okay, I'm not sure if Eliza's digging that or not. I am.
I get the toasty, I get the clean, I get the lager, I get the Bavarian, and Guten Tag indeed.
This is a very potent lager. If this is indeed a lager, it's a very potent lager. This is
Well, yes.
cut near an ale or even a stout. It's quite powerful on the malt.
5.8%, this is just shy.
This is a heavy drinking beer. It's nearly an ale. I'm getting, what's it, Boddington's.
No, this is a good hangover beer. If you wake up in the morning and you are hungover and you wish to continue to imbibe for whatever strange reason, get this guy. This guy is breakfast in a can.
It's definitely more malt forward than a lager. I'm seriously considering this is almost an ale.
I know it's not drab enough in flavor for an ale.
It is very bright.
A lager should be punching you in the stomach when you sip it.
Punching me in the nose.
It should be.
This one's like,
that's how I know they've done it right, and no, I cannot.
It's like, Carlos, do you know at certain petrol stations, when you go and you get the deep fried burrito, and you get that kind of weird feeling up in your nostril area? That's what this beer is. And that is probably the oddest description of a beer, but it's the most accurate,
the feeling
I
you're
suppose.
describing is probably the mold from the deep fryer.
It's tasty. I heartily recommend the Guten Tag by St. Arnold. Yeah, so far, St. Arnold has not disappointed me.
I know they have been absolutely delicious. I know when I was having all those troubles all those years ago, that was one of the few beverages I could actually palate. It wasn't alcoholic, but it was the St. Arnold's root beer, and it did my body well. And it was just a simple beverage. I adore this brewery.
Yes, my opinion of them has significantly increased. This is a damn fine. And they're calling it a lager. I'm looking at it and it looks like an ale to me. Anyway, Carlos.
That is an amber lager.
Carlos, would you like to make it awkward?
Well, yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's what I do. So don't forget, everybody, we do have a Venmo. Nobody has made a stop there, so you can be the first to donate to our Venmo to produce maybe the next show. Ole! And that is at Sherwood Beer Tasting on the Venmo.
Okay, so speaking for my darling niece Eliza and we will bid you all adieu until our very special episode next week. So yes.
Hint, hint, it's going to hurt.
Probably me, but everybody likes doing that anyway.
Ole! It's episode 10, so it's only got one X. Ole!
No, not what we're planning. All right, mates. Cheers. Until next weekend.
Adios, everybody. See you next time. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe.
I cannot stay. I came to say I must be going.